Hi there, this video is to present green toilet batch composting toilet systems. Green toilets are composting toilets, which means that they don't use any water. Also, they don't require electricity, which makes them perfectly off the grid. In this video, I'm going to present you two of our great green toilet composting toilet models. There is the green toilet 120, which is the smaller one, and then the larger one, the green toilet 330. In this video, I'm going to show you how the green toilet would be used, how you can maintain the system, and how it can be used in different use cases and different structural settings. Let's first have a look at how the green toilet system works. So when you're using the green toilet, all waste, including your number twos, number ones, toilet paper, and some dry organic material, enters the green toilet container through the waste chute of the container. Inside the green toilet container, there's this false floor or double base. All solid waste land on this double base. Most of the liquid waste will get also absorbed into the compost and by time evaporate through the ventilation of the system. However, if there is more liquid or urine going into the system than what the compost can absorb, there are these tiny holes in this double base through which the liquid will flow through into the bottom of the container. The double base has these capillary feet that are constantly in touch with the excess liquid at the bottom of the container, which keeps the compost optimally moist at all times. Similar design is used with underwatering flower pots, if you know that. However, if there is more urine than what the compost can use, there's an outlet for excess liquids to drain out from the composting container, from where they can be collected into a canister like that, or it can be leaked straight into a French drain, for example, depending on your environment and the local regulations. The separation of liquid is really important in keeping the composting toilet odor-free at all times. So that's how the green toilet system operates in use. By the time the composting container fills up of solid waste, we're talking about months for sure, then in that case, you would pull out the green toilet container from below the toilet and use the empty spare container included with the system. Specifically, you would change or seal the full composting container with a closed lid and leave that one outside to undergo further composting process while using the other container that is empty. By the time the second container has also filled up after months of use, the first one is already done with natural composting and it can be emptied. And again, you would change the containers. This neat idea is called batch composting, so you compost in batches. Another neat thing about batch composting is that you can always fit the capacity by having multiple spare containers available to the exact number of people using the toilet and where the toilet is being used. That's important because the natural composting process is dependent on the climate where the toilet is used. Let's say, for example, in the northern US where the winters are really cold, the composting process halts in the winter and therefore the waste requires longer time to fully compost, in which case extra spare containers might be needed. This of course depends on how many people would use the toilet, but yet that's really great that you can extend the capacity to the exact number of people and in which climate the toilet is used. So you don't have to worry about having to empty the system in case that the waste would not be done with composting. The green toilet 120 requires about 2 feet space below the bathroom if you're using a porcelain toilet with a waste chute connected to the composting container. But you can also use the system, for example, in an outhouse or some other shed-like structure with a flat seat, in which case you would place the container underneath the flat seat and just empty it from behind that structure. The green toilet 330 requires 3 feet space at least, so it's a bit more. If you do have that space, I would definitely recommend considering the larger one because it has almost 3 times the volume, which means that it's going to be a very long time before you have to service the system. The green toilet containers have vertically adjustable waste chutes, so you can lift the chutes to fit your exact height. This is important, especially if you're using it in an outhouse, so that you don't have to exactly measure the height of the seat, but you're able to fit the container tightly underneath that flat seat space. The Green Toilet 330 is more popular in public use case or full-time year-round use, whereas the Green Toilet 120 is probably most used in seasonal occasional use, for example in a holiday cabin or some other occasional use setting. A green toilet doesn't use any water, it doesn't require power, electricity. However, if you use the system indoors, we highly recommend equipping it with a electric duct fan to boost the ventilation, so that even if there would be some strange peak in the use, you wouldn't have to worry about any odors coming into the toilet. Probably one of the greatest things about the green toilet is that it has no moving parts that it could break in use. So you can rely that the system is very robust. You can't really break it anyhow unintentionally. Of these two systems, the Green Toilet 120 is more popular in occasional seasonal use, family use, whereas the larger Green Toilet 330 is more common in public use, commercial use, or if the toilet is used every day throughout the year by a family of, let's say, 6 people. So those are the kind of rough settings in which different cases these systems are used. So to recap what the green toilet is, it's a composting toilet that doesn't use any water, it doesn't require electricity. The containers have a double base that separates the excess liquids from the solid waste. There's always at least a single spare container, so when one container fills up in use, you pull it out, seal it, leave it outside to undergo further composting, while the other container is in use. By the time the second container is full, the first one is already done with composting. The green toilet is highly robust, reliable system. It doesn't require water. It's very pleasant to use and maintain. If you have any questions about the system, contact us at the Waterless Toilet Shop. You'll find our contact details online at waterlesstoiletshop.com. Thanks a lot for watching the video.